So hey guys, this is going to be the first of our 3 longer updates that we're going to do, obviously with E3 starting today. For those of you who don't know, our simulators were set up to show off Forza 6 at E3 this year. I posted a video, I know Declan's posted some pictures, our VRX page has some pictures as well. So it was extremely cool to see the reaction that a lot of people had. That booth was packed all day, the line, nobody wanted to play the controller version, they wanted to play the simulator version. What stood out about for the booth for you on that one? What were people saying or thinking that really stood out?
Most people were just like, this is freaking cool. Like, at the end of the day, I mean, VRX, thankfully, we have a pretty cool piece of equipment, and so every show I've ever done has always been super cool, and I've always had a good response. So it's good to see that in like a huge like opportunity or environment. Because I mean, you got big names: Xbox, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. They're all there. They're all seeing it, and it's just a good time.
Yeah. We gotta give thanks, obviously, to Turn 10 Studios, who created Forza Motorsport 6. Microsoft for actually inviting us down here and giving us this opportunity to show off what we can do with their technology as well. So after we finished, we basically got to go off and wander around. The first place that we actually we wanted to take a look at, or at least I wanted to take a look at it. I feel bad for Declan because we had to wait a while. We went and played some Halo 5 right off the bat. We got our hands on the HoloLens as well. So what was your kind of idea around that? Like, what did you think of the HoloLens? I know both of us had some issues, but also thought it was pretty cool.
Well, HoloLens was sick. I felt like I was in Minority Report. Stuff was like appearing in front of me, like the holograms you see in science fiction movies. It was a little uncomfortable sitting on my nose. It kind of pinched my nose, and like the image really only came to here, and I had to keep like doing this to kind of see it. But Halo 5 was sick. It's like I usually can't stand the Halo games. The whole jumping around thing kind of gets to me. You know, if you're going to shoot somebody, at least shoot them. Don't just fucking fly around in the air. But Halo 5 was good. They have a new game mode called Warzone, which is like intense. Yeah, so I had a good impression of that, and hopefully maybe one of these days I'll get my hand on an Xbox One. But then I need time and money for that, so.
Yeah, and what was interesting about the HoloLens is it was different from a lot of the virtual reality stuff that we're used to seeing. This being more augmented reality. So the difference being something like an Oculus Rift, which is virtual reality, you'd have a screen that covers your whole eyes, basically acts as your television screen, and as you turn, obviously your character turns. Whereas the augmented reality, it's like having a pair of glasses, and they just use technology to make things appear in front of you. You can still see everything around you, so whether it's people, objects, anything like that, but stuff pops up. I thought that was extremely cool, and the way they did it was that they used it in the briefing room to give us an idea of the map, where the capture points were, where any of the equipment areas were. So we got a really good idea of what the map will look like before we even got to get started. Which actually, when a map, they're huge. They're 4 times bigger than any Halo map they've done before. So it was really good to actually know what the map was going into the briefing. So quite impressive there. What was the next best thing that you saw today? We did a lot of wandering around, and there was a lot to love.
Yeah, what did I see? I saw so much, so hard. Oh, I got a picture with a zombie. That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
No, that was pretty cool. We went to The Walking Dead. We met some cool people. They have some sort of cool ideas and things like that, but we had lots to see, so much to see. Tomorrow, hopefully, we're going to try and get to the bigger guys like Activision and EA Sports and EA, Electronic Arts, just kind of see what they have up their sleeves and maybe make some connections and meet some interesting people. But yeah, I don't know. What about you, Andrew? What did you like? I feel like I talk about myself all the time.
I'm trying to think of what else we really gave a shot to today outside of the Halo 5. I know we played some games here. Super Hot. That was probably the first game we actually played, and that was actually before E3 even started, which has maybe the most interesting concept for a shooter I've ever seen.
Yeah.
If you want to go into detail about it, because you figured it out how it works long before I did, and then I realized, oh, this is actually kind of awesome.
Yeah, so Super Hot. Anybody who's a first-person shooter fan, check it out. It's basically the whole concept of the game. It's like as if you're playing. You know when a game is being like wireframed, it's like that the entire time. And when you're not moving, time stops. As soon as you start doing anything, time speeds up. So when you're like shooting people, you have to plan where your bullet's going to go, because as soon as you pull the trigger, time accelerates. But when you're not doing anything, time's really, really slow. So that was kind of interesting. It gave it kind of like a Matrix feel. It took me a couple rounds to actually figure out how it worked, because apparently I'm just too stupid to figure it out. But then I got it, and I was feeling pretty impressed with myself, and then I had to leave. So
yeah, it's one of those games where oftentimes when it comes to shooters, you have to make a split-second decision. But in this game, you can literally look at the situation and go, well, that guy's got a gun and this guy doesn't. So I'm going to turn towards him, pull the trigger, time's going to go, and hopefully I kill him before he shoots me. As Declan was saying, we probably have a lot we're going to go take a look at. I know Declan is especially wanting to go to Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, Stormtroopers.
Or as I have now called it, based on how it looks, and if you've seen anything about the game, just literally Star Wars Battlefield, because that's literally what it looks like. I definitely want to spend some more time in the Nintendo booth. I got to try out the new Star Fox at some point. That's got to be one that is on my list. Tomb Raider is another. Street Fighter 5. Call of Duty Black Ops actually at the Activision booth. We got to see a good chunk of the campaign today, but the hands-on section is actually over at the Activision booth in a different part of the concourse. So we're gonna have to go and take a look at that. But we haven't spent any time in the South Hall yet, which is the bigger of the two halls, and we have 2 days left. So
yeah, it's huge, man. Black Ops 3 looks like, well, from what I saw of it when I wasn't falling asleep in the theater, looks like basically Black Ops became Halo. So we'll see what that turns out, but Call of Duty is well past its prime. I think Modern Warfare 2 is where it's at. No, it's...
Yeah.
But yeah, so far so good. I think right now, our plans to go have a private dinner with Microsoft, so that's why we're looking snazzy. Yeah, so, I don't know, man.
What was, I guess for the last question we can kind of have for this update, what was your biggest surprise of the day? What kind of, out of anything that we did or saw today, caught you off guard and you weren't actually expecting to be as good as it was?
There are far too many nerds.
That's what's impressed you so far, is there far too many nerds?
No, it's well, I guess that could be expected, but I wish there were less nerds, even though it is E3.
It's not how it works. I'm one of those nerds, unfortunately. Like,
yeah, I can't stand any minute of it.
Yeah, you heard me quite a bit. I know for me, if there was one thing that surprised me, and this started when we started talking to that guy a little bit, but one of the accessory companies over at E3 is gaming peripherals that are cheap as hell and actually work really well. I don't know what you thought when you were playing Sniper Elite, but the mouse pad felt really good, the mouse felt really good, the keyboard looked really good, and I think for like all three of them total it would have been like $60, which is, for college student gamer, is like great budget, awesome.
I think I was just mesmerized by the fact that when you like shot a bullet in the game, it went really, really slow, and you could see it go through his head. I could be entertained for hours. It just brings out the sadistic side of me. Yeah.
So definitely tomorrow we're going to spend a lot more time with a lot of the third-party publishers. So kind of avoiding the Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo booths. We'll probably do more of that on Thursday. But I will say, if there's one thing that looks like it's dominating the video game industry right now, it is augmented and virtual reality. Those are the two focuses. Every single company seems to be coming up with something.
People like to make video games seem like real life to escape their boring, miserable lives.
It's not a bad way to kill a couple hours, especially if you got a beer at the same time.
My life is awesome. I don't need virtual reality.
I got no comment. I'm sorry.
He's had enough of my arrogance.
We still got 2 days of E3 and then 2 days of travel, and I still got to put up with it. So.
We don't kill him on the drive home.
Yeah. With that, though, we're going to end this update. We will probably do another small update in the morning tomorrow, and then we'll do another big one. Tomorrow's the longest day of E3. It runs 10 till 6, so I am sure we're going to have tons of things to talk about. Pretty sure we're probably going to start with Battlefront just so Declan can be happy. I think that's probably
because if I'm not happy, you might as well just not even go.
He probably won't let me in the U-Haul if he's not happy by the end.
He'll let you in. You'll just be in the back.
At least I can hold everything down. With that, guys, have a good night, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Peace.
All right. Damn it.
Still recording.
I know.
Party foul.
Gonna have to